Now we'll move on to the draw toolbar and discuss some of the points over there. But before we go there, let me clear this up first. We need to discuss something about the coordinate system. If you are going for any kind of a geometric, or I should say, an engineering drawing, a geometric shape that is to be drawn through for some engineering purpose, then you need to be accurate because you have to stick to certain specifications, dimensions. Suppose you want to draw a horizontal line of 100 length and then follow it up by drawing a 50 line segment with 45-degree angle with the x-axis. So you have to be specific about these things. Now, if you want to do that, obviously, you have to have access to a coordinate system. I have already shown you that AutoCAD provides us with a default coordinate system, and its indication is provided here. Towards the bottom left hand corner, you can see the x and the y axis available to you. These are just simple indications, and they are probably not indicative of the actual origin at their intersection, because I have placed the cursor here. You can see that intersection of the x-axis and y-axis. Read out the coordinate. It is reading something like minus 391 or minus 338. So obviously that is not the exact origin. The exact origin is somewhere there in this drawing space, and it is at 0, 0. Now, how do you access that point? You have absolute coordinate system where you can just put the absolute coordinate of that in the command prompt, of a particular point in the command prompt. Or you can also have a, I would say, a relative coordinate system where specific to a previously drawn point, you can specify a second point. Now for that, I'll just simply open up a Word document, and I'll draw your attention to this. What do we have here? We have the x-axis and the y-axis, and there is the origin 0, 0. Now suppose I want to specify a point A over here. That would have an absolute coordinate of x1, y1. So if I want to locate that point, I can write in the command prompt these two coordinates separated by comma, and I will be arriving at this point. So in the course of drawing a line, when it says in the command prompt, specify first point, I can give the absolute coordinate. Press enter and your line will start from that particular point. What about the next point? I can again give some absolute coordinate value x2 and y2, and that would create the second point, B. And I would have a line segment from A to B. Depending on the coordinate values, this line is going to have some specific length and some specific orientation. If I say that R is the length of this line segment and theta is its orientation with respect to the x-axis, then you have these relations through which R and theta are determined. Now here I have written delta x and delta y. What is delta x? Delta x is basically x2 minus x1, and delta y is y2 minus y1. And if you know these two, quite obviously, you have a specific line length and orientation known. So if I try to draw a line it says specify first point. What I will do is write 0, comma 0. So I want my line to start from the origin. I could have given any other absolute coordinate value as well, but I want it to start from 0, comma 0. Hit enter, and you can see that somewhere above this drawing space, the line has started. Specify next point. Let's write it as 100, comma 100. So here is the line. So it starts from 0, comma 0. Now you can see that the notation for the x-axis and y-axis, it has reoriented, repositioned itself to the origin. Previously, it was not there. And this is the line that is been created. You can continue with this. Specify next point. Let's say this next point is going to be 100, comma 200. It is now going to be a vertical line where the y coordinate is 200, the x coordinate is 100. So like that, you can draw lines with absolute coordinate. But it is quite possible that the absolute coordinates are not always known to you. And you have to do some calculations to get hold of the absolute coordinates. Find out the absolute coordinates. Why should I do extra calculations if there is a better alternative available to me? And that better alternative is indeed available in the form of relative coordinates. So this is the relative coordinate. There are two different relative coordinates. One is Cartesian relative coordinate. The other one is relative polar or polar relative coordinate. We can use either one of them. So let's first of all talk about the Cartesian. Here, to indicate that I'm going for a relative coordinate, you need to provide the @ symbol. This @ symbol needs to be given first. And that indicates that you are going to specify something with respect to a relative coordinate system. In this case, what is the reference point? In the absolute coordinate system, it is always the origin, 0, 0 point. But if you put this @ symbol and go for relative coordinate system, then the previous point that you had just marked, that is going to act as the reference point. So A, if you have already indicated what this point is, that now becomes the reference. With respect to that, the point B is going to be defined. And how it is going to be defined? The x segment delta x, comma, y segment or y increment delta y. So these two increments are to be provided. How it is to be provided? The syntax is @ delta x, comma, delta y. So this distance, comma, this distance. And that is how the relative Cartesian coordinate works. Let's see. I'll select line again. Let's say I have started from this point. You can see that the line has started. Now I will write @ 100, comma 0. What I am doing here is I'm drawing a line in the horizontal direction, positive x direction of length 100. So the delta x is 100, delta y is 0. So press enter, you have this line. If I want to draw a vertical line, I'll write @ 0, the x segment is 0, y segment, let us say 50. Enter. And you have the line like this. So I'll repeat again, @ x increment 50, comma, y increment 50. Press enter. So you have this line. That is all about the relative Cartesian coordinate. What about the polar one? Polar one actually refers to the length of the line segment. Previously, it was the increments in x direction and y direction. By the way, here I could have provided negative values as well. Just to go back to it, I start from here. Let's say at the rate minus 100, comma 0. That means now I'm drawing a horizontal line, but I'm going to move towards the left, negative x direction, like this. So in relative polar coordinate, the syntax is at the rate r, angle symbol given by the less than sign, theta. So r is the length of the line segment, theta is the orientation. That means the angle measured from the positive x-axis going in the counterclockwise direction. So let's see it in action. I'll select a line. The first point could be specified either by absolute value or just by clicking anywhere in this drawing window. So I'll just click some arbitrary point here. I'll write at the rate 75, that is the line segment length, angle of 45 degree. Enter, and that is the line segment that is created. Now you tell me, if I want to draw a horizontal line of length 100, then what command should I provide?
At the rate 100.
At the rate
100 angle
100
0.
angle 0. Now if I want to draw a vertically downward line of length 50, then what do I have to do? Right?
At the rate 0, at the rate 0, comma at the rate minus 50.
Minus 90.
No. I'm drawing a length of 50. So if I'm going to provide polar coordinates, then I have to mention the line length. So
50 comma angle minus 90.
No comma here.
Oh,
the angle sign, I can write minus 90 or 270. Minus 90 is also possible. And that is the line segment. Just try to think about, if I want to draw a rectangle of length 100 and height 75, what I will do? What commands I need to provide? Sequential. First, specify the first point. Then you want to move in the positive x direction, and the length is 100. So at the rate 100. Now you decide, and it is quite open to your personal choice as well, whether you want to go for Cartesian or polar relative system. You can provide comma 0, or if you want to go for polar, then angle 0. That is the first line. You want to move vertically upward now. So at the rate 75, angle 90, enter. You want to now move in the negative x direction. So at the rate 100, what should be the angle here?
180 degree.
180 degree. That is correct. 180 degree. Now you can move directly down, and with the O snap, you can close this up, or you can give a line, draw a line at 270 or minus 90. That closes up the rectangle. That's it. So that is how you can use different sort of lines to create certain geometric entities. Now the next option that I will show you is circle. Now here, if you want to draw a circle, there are lots of different options. In fact, there are 6 different options through which you can draw a circle. The first 2 are pretty simple. You can specify the center and then the radius or diameter. So click circle from here, specify the center, and then provide the radius maybe as 25, and you get a circle. Next is center diameter. So we have the center here, and the diameter is let's say 50. So you have the same size circle as this. Now the next option is 2 points. Now can you draw a circle with 2 points? A unique circle with 2 points? Is it possible? Do we not require 3 different points to get an unique circle?
Yes, sir. ये
जो the
x2 minus
diameter
x1 into y2
If
minus
it is,
y1.
if the 2
diametrically
points are
opposite
the,
point.
yes, if they are the extremities of the diameter, then of course we can get a circle with 2 points. Basically what we are doing here is we are defining the diameter by specifying the 2 points. So let's see here. The first point is here. The second point I can specify using the relative command. So I can do @50 angle 0. Press enter. So here we have created a line, a circle of diameter 50. Let's move forward. The next is 3 points. Pretty easy to understand. I have to just specify 3 different points. That's the first first point. That's the second point. And here goes the third point. So 3 points specified like this, and you can draw a circle through that. Next, we have tan radius. It means that I have to provide 2 tangents and then a specific radius to create a circle. Let's see how we can do that. I've selected the option. Read the command prompt. Says specify point on object for first tangent. So this is the first tangent. Let's say this is the second tangent. And now I have to specify a radius. Radius, let's say this is 20. You can see that the circle is created as having tangents of this one and this one. These 2 straight lines are tangents to it, and you have a circle of radius 20.
স্যার এটা আরেকবার একটু দেখান
হ্যাঁ দেখাচ্ছি I'll select tan radius. I have to specify 2 objects as tangents. So specify point on object for first tangent. Let's say this is the first tangent. This is the second tangent. This has changed. Specify point on object for second tangent. That is the second tangent. Now specify the radius. Let's say 30. So this circle is created with tangent as these 2 circles. So I'll just explain it again. So first of all, you select this tan radius option. Okay. Now I have to specify 2 tangents. 2 tangents to this circle, and then specify its radius. Okay. So let's say the first tangent is given by this object. Tangent here means that will just touch the circle. It does not have to be a straight line. It could be anything. So this is the first tangent. I have clicked on it. Now the command prompt changes. Specify point on object for second tangent. So you have to specify the second tangent. Second tangent is this one. I have clicked. So that is designated as the second tangent. And then it says specify radius of circle. Previously I had given 30. Now I will give 20. And you can see that this circle is created, which is tangent to both of these and it has a radius of 20. Is
Sir,
that clear? Okay.
স্যার যদি
So
ওটা রেডিয়াসটা 10 দিতাম তাহলে কি মানে বলতো
হ্যাঁ স্যার,
not
মানে
possible?
যদি ধরুন মানে কোনো একটা
it-
কেসে যদি পসিবল না হয় তখন কি হবে স্যার?
then you will see. Okay, let's try that. So I'll take this and give a very small radius, say 2.5. It is not feasible that it will touch both the circles, right? So
Yes, sir.
just 2.5, and you see that
Circle doesn't
circle
exist.
does not exist.
Yes, sir, got it.
So this error message will be displayed. Okay.
ওকে
And
স্যার
finally, the tan option. So 3 different tangents need to be specified. Okay, here before we go for that option, let me just arbitrarily create this triangle. I have selected tan. This is the first tangent, second tangent, and the third tangent. So that is simple enough. It does not require any radius. Just 3 tangents need to be specified to create this. Okay, so that's all for today's demonstration. I have a meeting to attend right now, so I am going to cut this class short. Later on this evening, I'll be sharing with you the demonstrations that I have recorded, and you will get it in the Google Classroom. If you have any queries or questions, you can get in touch with me. Thank you
স্যার
for your
হেল্প
attention.
বাটনটা কোথায় আছে? হেল্প বাটনটা?
Help is here.
ও
You
আচ্ছা
just
আচ্ছা,
at the top, you just type in, let's say, circle, press enter,
ও আচ্ছা।
you'll get this. Whatever you are looking for, just type in that search bar, and you will get the help.
হ্যাঁ,